talking now to Adele Diane. Why don't you tell me a bit about your beginnings as a musician?
Well, I've always been a musician in a way. I was in choir when I was a kid, and my parents are both very musical. So I kind of just grew up in a household that was full of music. And I didn't actually start playing guitar until later, until I was about 19. And that's the point in which I started playing guitar and I started writing songs. And then I just kind of kept doing it since then.
I notice you're a really good guitar player. Are there any particular guitarists who've influenced you?
I would say mostly probably just my dad. I don't consider myself a great guitar player. I can get around on it and I can do enough to back up my vocals, but that's kind of about it.
Your father is a musician, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about him. I think you recorded your album at his studio.
Yeah, my dad has recorded both records, and he's been in a Grateful Dead cover band actually for the past 15 years or something. So he really kind of shreds on the guitar, and he taught me that my first few chords when I was in high school, and then I couldn't really be bothered with actually playing the guitar until later, but yeah.
What about your mother? Is she a musician?
She is. She's a great singer, and she also plays guitar, but she has a very strong voice, and listening to her and seeing her sing hearing her sing without fear, when I was a kid, I think is the reason that I've been able to do this and to really use my voice as much as it can be used. I remember my mom going on walks out in the woods, and she would sing at the top of her lungs while she was walking along. She would sing old traditional songs. Yeah.
So I noticed I think your voice has sort of a country-ish quality, for lack of a better word. Do you listen to a lot of country music?
Not so much. I listen to kind of all sorts of stuff, but I'm pretty fascinated right now with just kind of older music, 70s stuff. I really like, I came upon a Fairport convention recently, and I really like them. I think Sandy Denny is an amazing vocalist, but they're not country music at all. They're English. They're from England, and
I can hear the Sandy Denny influence in your voice. Have you listened to any of the other folk groups from that period, like, say, Steel Eye Span or Pentangle?
I actually haven't heard either of those. I've heard of Pentangle, and it's one of those things where I keep being all, I should probably check that out because I think I would like it a lot, but I haven't yet. And I only really discovered Fairport Convention like 2 years ago, but yeah.
What about Joanna Newsom? I understand you're friends with her.
Yeah, she's a friend of mine. We both grew up in the same town, and it was definitely inspiring to see her kind of gain so much success and credit for what she's doing, because she's such a talented girl.
Would you ever do you think you'd ever want to collaborate with her?
I mean, I wouldn't say it would never happen. Up to this point, we haven't really done anything together, but it would be great to have her play some harp on one of my records in the future.